Right, Landry, thanks for your time. Sample size brings us a good question here. I think there's been obviously a lot of talk and thought about our Trae and Dejounte working well together. The numbers would suggest that when they're on the floor together, you're not as good a team. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that this pairing is going to work and lead to where do you guys want to go as a franchise?
It's a really good question. And I love how you framed it. Like sample size is getting larger and larger and larger. And assuming you're looking at specific lineups and defensive and offensive ratings, which can always be debated as well. Yeah, you're starting to see that more and more. And yeah, I can't lie to you. The numbers speak for themselves on that. But we're also interested in, well, let's say they're on the court together and it's based off of the numbers, it's not working out. Well, why is that? Like, what are things that we can do for them in a development aspect to make it look more like the on-off lineups that I'm assuming that you're looking at? And ultimately, like that, then that lays something that is measurable. Those are things now from a development standpoint that you can look at and say, okay, can you progress in these areas? If you can't, then yeah, like those are times like that. I'm not saying that's exactly how it's going to happen with any player where you'd have to consider the changes that, everyone would then be kind of asking and looking for at the end of the day.
To follow up on that, are you saying like, is there something that you see or know, like if we get this kind of piece, then this will work better? Or I mean, kind of what is your thinking at this point about what's going to make this work?
Piece in terms of what?
Like, is there another player that like a type of player on the floor that would make that combination work better for us? So having Trae and Dejounte on the floor together, is that going to help us be a better team? Is there one more piece, or do we need to play a different style? Is there something that you see now that's going to make you the kind of team that you want to be?
Well, as far as another player, I mean that's always hard to say. Um, for those guys or any particular instance, yeah, it's looking at okay, why when it is working on the court, like why is that successful? Why are we seeing positive results of that? What is it that you're doing? Those would be the things that for us, I think tie back into a lot of our pillars. Like one, what's the competitive spirit in that particular moment? Are we being unselfish? Are we moving the ball? Those things, which, from a pass standpoint, you can measure. Like if things get sticky there, then yeah, that's tough. Now the development, to make it simple, is like, hey, you got to continuously move the ball and keep the advantage for the group. And are you willing to do that? Are you not willing to do that? If you are, great, then we're going to be better. If you're not, then okay, then we've reached a point or we've reached a ceiling here.
Okay, well, think about my last question. Like, how confident do you feel in that and the two of them working together?
Sorry, what was I'm sorry, the
How
phone.
confident do you feel that this is going to work out ultimately in the way that you envision?
I think that those guys are competitors. I think that at the end of the day, they want to do what they need to do to win. And I would bank on that. I'm very confident in that. If that changes, then you'll see changes.